It's cold outside, there's no kind of atmosphere, I'm all alone, more or less. Let me fly far away from here. Fun, 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 in the sun, sun, sun. Yeah. Emergency order. Defeat the Metroid of the planet Zebeth and destroy the Mother Brain, the mechanical life vein. Galaxy Federal Police, M510. Okay then, here we go. It's been a while. Metroid from the Nintendo Entertainment System, back in 1986. Another game in 1986, 10 years before I was born. Alright, so let's just jump straight into it. This is a game that I have actually practiced but never actually finished. Just like with Mega Man and, I was going to say Legend of Zelda, but that's not technically true. But anyway, so here we go, Metroid. We have, you can say a bit of a side-scroller, mostly shoot-'em-up, platformer with the occasional, I don't know, action sequences. Well, no, it's all action-based, I guess you can say. So, this is the first Metroid game I've actually played in my life, because, in all honesty, I've never actually been very fond of Metroid. Well, not fond, but I just wasn't quite interested enough to actually see what it was all about. So I decided I'll have a go at this, the first game instead, and I actually started to enjoy more of it because it's actually, especially if you know what you're doing, which I only sort of know half know what I'm doing. That being said, I should probably explain. Even though, okay, so this is, I've played this game before, but I still have no idea exactly what to expect or what to encounter. I'm gonna confess something here. I am slightly cheating, which means I have a map, but that's all I've got is a map or a guide to show me where I'm supposed to go and how am I supposed to sort of finish the game up front. Well, okay, when it comes to knowing how to finish the game, it's not as hard as you think. The main objective is to get to Mother Brain and defeat her. However, there are a few pickups along the way, which some are very mandatory and some are very optional, kind of like Legend of Zelda. So you need to know exactly where they are. And Metroid has a map that doesn't change, which thank God, but you won't know exactly where everything is unless if you drew it out in some sort of grid-based paper and pen take, like most kids would have done back in the time when, you know, the internet never really existed for them. So, I mean, my old friend Grady, you know, when he played Legend of Zelda, he drew out the map so he knew exactly where he needed to go. Anyway, so yeah, this game is quite big. Well, when I say big, as in the area, not so much how long it will take. If you know what you're doing, this game shouldn't actually take too long. So, yeah, you need to know exactly where you need to go, because there are certain pickups you'll need to use in order to actually continue on with the game. So, as we're continuing along, we're actually going to start doing that for now, and we're going to be heading over this way. We're going to start in the world of Brinstar. There are 5 worlds in total, including the final area, where the Mother Brain resides. So here we are in Brinstar, which is basically your simple map, your simple start of the whole game. You got all these enemies that you come across. Some are, you can say docile, but they don't initiate too much of a threat in various cases. So yeah. Anyway, so Metroid in this game is iteration. I've played until up to I believe the second world, and that's as far as I got. I have watched walkthroughs and did a bit of research as to how I'm supposed to play this game, not so much properly, but what's the best way to go through it and without having to waste so much time. Because again, I haven't actually finished it. We'll see how we go. So we're gonna come down here because there's a certain power-up we definitely do need, because I can't really access anything else throughout the level until we actually get this power-up. Otherwise, yeah, we're not going to be doing much, and we're just wasting pretty much my time as well as your time. And I don't want to do that because, you know, if there's one thing I sort of dread is having to continue playing a game, even one that I know very little about, and to the point where I start to run out of things to say. That's one thing I really dread. Anyway, we're going to be picking up this energy. No, sorry, that's the wrong word. It's a missile tank. We need to pick up this missile tank because this is going to allow us to access certain areas, because, you know, the game... Fucking seriously? Anyway, because the game, you know, likes to decide this is how we're going to start playing the game. Anyway, sorry, I'm a bit muddled up with words because I've only just started playing this. I have no idea exactly what am I supposed to be doing right here. I'm just sort of thrown off the deep end in a way, which is, you know, it's not good, you know, so be it, but fuck it. We'll just do our damnedest as much as we can. And I'm playing very well, as you can plainly see. No. So once I can relax a bit, I can explain a little bit more about the game in general. So, going back to how the layout goes, especially the map, Metroid consists of long hallways and deep chasms like so here right here. Especially if you're going to go down, you can take the safe route into these platforms, or like me, as you saw before, I just hugged the right wall to the right and just hoped that no enemies was going to attack me. It's a bit like what I did at one time in Mega Man, just to avoid most of the enemies to get to Fireman. But here, when going up, we obviously have to take the platform, because Metroid, sorry, not Metroid, the character Samus doesn't know how to fly. Oh yeah, let's actually start explaining a little bit more about the story of the character. So, you know, for those who don't know Metroid or haven't played Super Smash Bros., this is Samus Aran, and, well, there's not really much of a spoiler right here. Samus is a woman. She's a bounty hunter, a Galactic Federal Police bounty hunter. And the story goes is that, in the beginning, when she was either young, a baby, a child, let's say, her parents was, there's no other way of saying this, brutally murdered by the space pirates. And the space pirate, led by Ridley, you know, was responsible for... Yeah, I don't think it was him that actually killed Samus's parents. It might have been. See, I don't really know the full story of Metroid in a whole. You know, I'm only going with what I've heard from other people that even rushed through this quite quickly as well. Yeah, I should ignore this asshole. Don't really need to fight him as much. So afterwards, Samus, yeah, she's lost her parents, and she's been, she was taken care by these galactic space beings called Chozos. In fact, this statue you see right here is a Chozo statue. They're a sort of bird, space bird creature. They look like vultures. Actually, no, they look more like Skeksis in Dark Crystal. Anyway, so we're going to pick this up. This is the long beam. This is going to help so much throughout the game. So you may have noticed that my projectiles back then only fired just by short range. Here, my projectiles go way further out, which is nice. I really do. I like to pick up this thing because it helps a lot, especially taking out enemies from far away. So she's been raised by the Chozos, and now she's at her, I don't know if it's her enact revenge to Ridley, but, you know, all that training that she's gone with the Chozos has, I mean, I think in all well, not fairness, what the fuck am I talking about? Samus is a human, but has a bit of Chozo DNA, which gives her a lot more superhuman strength, agility, brain power. Yeah, she's more than just your average human. She's been trained to the extent of, like, Tibetan monks and some shit like that. Oh, I don't know why I call it Tibetan monks, yeah. And yeah, and now she's this galactic warrior who's out to fight for justice. Oh, wait, I don't know, what am I doing? I don't need to come up here just yet. We want to head over to this side. That's basically the synopsis of Metroid, not the whole franchise in itself, because again, I haven't actually played the franchise along the way. You know, I've just done a bit of, you know, research with some of the characters and a bit of the lore. We're in the planet Zebeth, which is split up into five worlds. Like I said, this is Brinstar that we are in, and there's a few things that we're going to try and get around here before getting to the next areas. What else I can explain? I said it's your simple generic platformer. That looks like lava in a way. I don't know what it is. It's not lava, because if you fall in it, you don't die immediately, but you sink, and your health diminishes bit by bit until you can jump out. So yeah, try not to end up in there in the first place. So that's the max I got, is 99 health, and I want to make sure if I get to 0, basically that's game over. I can't go any further. However, if I was to continue on a bit, we're going to be... Oh, not yet. We're not far away of getting this next pickup, which is also going to help out too. We'll just ignore these enemies. Yeah, I should say, the enemies in this game is extremely optional. You don't have to fight all the enemies, because, especially ones that you might not work out its pattern, is going to give you a hard, blistering time. So, yeah, just make it a more strategic way of getting across without having to fight so many enemies. Like right now, I've got full health. I don't really need to fight any of them at all whatsoever. But if we get through this next room right here, we're going to be picking up another useful pickup once we get to it, and it will make the gameplay slightly easier, I would like to say, but, you know, that being said, I'm only just saying that because it's just, you know, Metroid, again, if you don't know where you're going or what you're doing, it can be very hard. Here we have an energy tank. So even though I've got 99 health right up there, I get a bar right up there, an extra bar. So when oh yeah, see, so I go down and this is what happens, I just sink. Once I reach 0, then it's not game over, but the energy tank will now replace the old energy tank and I get another 99 health. And now if that goes down, then it's game over. There is more energy tanks to pick up throughout the game, however there's also a cap of I guess spare energy tanks I can have. I think it's 5 or 6, with a total of 7 or 8 energy tanks throughout the game. So once you max out in health, you can find another energy tank, and it serves as a fresh health pickup. It just replenishes your health. That's all it really does. Along with pickups, yeah, enemies will often give you these drop off of, well, there's 2 things they drop off. Those white circle things that, they're not even white. Hang on, will you do it? No. Come on. I need a fucking example. And I'm trying to explain along the way. These enemies, they're the easiest, but they're not dropping what I want them to drop. Maybe this asshole would. Yeah, so that is your health. You pick that up and it replenishes your health, and it varies. I think the weaker the enemy, the little health you get, and the stronger the enemy, the more health you can get as well. So it's kind of RNG in a way. You can get it from range from 5 to 20 health life points replenish. Like these guys right here, I believe this would have been worth 20, but obviously it's no need because I've got full health. And because I picked up the rocket power, they will also drop rockets, which the cap right now I can carry is 5. However, if I was to, there is more rocket pickups, and I can carry up to, well, I think 1 rocket pickup equals 5 more I can carry on. And the cap for that, once again, for Nintendo Entertainment System, is 255, like rupees in Legend of Zelda, and hell, even the game in Pac-Man. There's 255 levels you can play, but 256? Yeah, don't even try. Anyway, so another use for the rockets is that, as you've noticed, the blue doors we come across, one little shot of the projectile gives me access to the door. However, these projectiles, which are infinite, I cannot fire through. So if I press the select button, Samus has changed colour, and she fires 5 rockets into the red door. It takes 5 rockets to destroy the red door, and once the red door is destroyed, then that's it. You know, you don't have to worry about just blasting the red doors again. Alright, Chozo statue is going to give us a very useful item, the morph bombs. Well, these are just, I think they're just called bombs, but when we go into morph war mode, we can drop bombs. And this will serve a great use purpose later on. And the explosions don't help, but they do offer... Oh shit, hang on. Sorry about that. I just had a phone call. Just family matters, that's all. Anyway, back to the game. So, what was I doing? What was I explaining? I can't remember now. God damn it. Because I've been on the phone for quite a bit. So, picked up the... What did we pick up? Where am I, actually? I kind of lost track. Oh, we picked up the bombs, that's right. Which serves a great purpose later down the track. So, in hindsight, that's pretty much all I can get. There is one other thing I can pick up. However, after I do pick up this thing, the method to get out of it is quite a dickish way to do, because I've tried everything, and as for now, yeah, I can't really do it. So, I've explained about missiles, and how I can only carry 5 missiles. Oh yeah, these enemies, they're indestructible, you can't do anything about them, the ones that are flying side to side. These enemies you can, of course, destroy. There you go, another missile pickup right there. So, one thing I want to pick up at least is that there's going to be another useful power-up that I'd like to get, and trust me, especially if I'm going to go to the next world, it's going to really help things a lot more easier, I'd like to say. So let's just try and do that. Okay, here we go. Now, obviously need to make my way back. Like I said, this game requires a little bit of backtracking, so you need to know, well, shit, you need to know where exactly you need to go without having to, you know, spend so much time in one area because, you know, you realize, wow, shit, this game's a lot more brutal than I remember. Anyway, so we're going to come across this area right here. Now, oh yeah, there's one thing I should explain. The game also has these secret hidden passages and blocks, like so right here, that you wouldn't actually know at first until you you know, start blasting away. And mind you, you know, oh god, there's lag. Ah, sprite limitations. This is what I love about the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. Anyway, so you wouldn't actually know that there were secret passages unless you start blowing shit up, of course. But lots of dead ends will trick you into thinking that that's it. There's only just dead ends, but there's more to it. Anyway, so we're going to come in here because we're going to pick up this next item, which I am looking forward to getting. Oh, son of a bitch! More for. Yeah, gotta be careful in these things right here, as they kind of, you'd say they do kind of pack a punch, but no, as long as you're careful. And some enemies are easy to read if you know how to read their patterns, like so. So it's not too strenuous, I guess, that's what I'd like to call it. But we are going to come here because we have this useful piece of equipment. Blast that, and this is the Ice Beam, I believe it's called. Which the name implies, of course, we can freeze enemies. We'll demonstrate that by, well, I want to demonstrate, yeah, by these little crab creatures. I don't know the names of the enemies except for one particular enemy. There we go, freeze them. However, if you shoot them again, they'll unfreeze, essentially. That's basically how it works. But the Ice Beam does serve a purpose. It allows you to freeze enemies. These guys, it just one-hit kills because they're super weak, so, you know, it's not a big deal. But, yeah, this is a very useful power-up, especially later in the levels, in the world, because this is where it's really you're gonna have to use the Ice Beam. They're temporarily frozen for a bit until, oh, actually, oh, I wonder, wait, where am I? Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah, back here. Okay, so this is one of the things I should explain. Yeah, you can freeze those enemies, and those enemies can actually act as platforms, so you can actually jump on their hard shells. That's probably what makes them invincible in the first place, because they've got protective armor. So the idea is that I'm supposed to get back up here, which is, you know, no big deal, and where I came from, which was over here. Oh shit, I fell down. I'm trying to get back up. I think what I interpret is that the game expects you to, this is what I'm struggling with. I seem to be very short to getting up here. I don't understand. Unless if I use the morph bomb or some shit like that? I don't know. Hang on. I'll see if I can try again, because for me, there seems to be no other way unless I kill myself, and that will take me back to the beginning of the world that I'm in. But yeah, I don't get that. But I think, yeah, you're supposed to have some sort of high jump ready, because there is a high jump that allows you, obviously, to jump higher. Ah, yeah! There we go, I got it! Oh, thank God, I didn't have to kill myself. The problem is that when you do kill yourself, you know, if you have to, you get to keep all your pickups and items, but your health starts back at 30, and you also have to refill all your energy units until you get... Well, actually, I don't know if you can actually... Say, you know, if this bar was empty right there, and if I got my energy to 99, I don't think I can refill this one. I don't know. I can't quite remember. Unless if I pick up more. We're gonna have to find that out. But I'm glad I managed to find my way out, because in that area, in the hindsight, I just managed to kill myself because there was no other way of me getting back up. But I managed to cheese that. Although, you know, that being said, I'm not that great at trying to exploit mechanics in the game, because it's not easy to do. And there's also another exploit that comes later on. And again, I'm not that great at it, unless if I try. But yeah, we'll just have to see for wonders, right? Yeah. Oh shit.